All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all. So this is a topic that I've been wanting to go back to and talk about because some people have asked me what's my thoughts on a potential rubber match between Nunes and Pena, Nunes Pena 3. And I think I talked about it maybe like just a little bit once in a live stream, but I wanted to just kind of discuss it now when I had some free time, because this is one of those fights that I know we're kind of torn on. Some people want to see a third fight with Pena. Some people want to see a third fight with Shevchenko. But, yeah, I just want to get my thoughts on it because, yeah, a lot of other stuff been going on, too, a lot of good fights, so I had to just kind of say I didn't want to talk about bantamweight too much because, a lot of stuff going on with flyweight, right? But, yeah, a few weeks ago, like when I had first tested positive, Pena had posted up on her IG, that she was trying to go get her belt back. She wanted to fight Nunes again. And, DC, he had something to say about it. He said that her performance didn't really warrant a rubber match right away, right? And, Pena felt some way about that. So she bombed back, and he came back with his response, said he didn't mean it that way, which I don't know what he meant by that, because I'm feeling like if he said what he said, then he said what he said, right? Because I usually don't agree with everything DC says, but in this case here, this was like the response I pretty much had as well. I kind of felt that I was kind of thinking that, Julianna Pena, her performance last time around didn't really just call for the rubber match to be right away. You know what I mean? It wasn't like back and forth action to the point where the rounds were close. There was a lot of damage dealt out, but with every round ending, everybody was pretty much on the same page with Nunes winning every round, right? I think that's what he kind of meant, and that's what I was thinking as well. And, with that performance, I just feel like for Pena, there's still a lot of time to, develop and build herself up into a rubber match and develop, to develop herself and be prepared, because with the performance that Nunes put on really made you say, okay, Nunes is turned on and this is what she can do. And Julianna Pena just does not look ready, right? Again, she had some moments and did some damage, but Nunes was never really like in trouble, if that makes sense. I mean, if we go back and look at the fight, right? But yeah, Julianna Pena wrote this on her Instagram. Somebody had sent it to me now, and I said I would talk about it. So he said, everyone keeps asking me what's next. I'm getting my belt back. That's what's next. A trilogy with Amanda is the fight to make. I did everything I said I was going to do into that first fight. I gave Amanda the immediate rematch within 6 months. And, man, maybe I should have sat out for 2 years like she did. She told me she could have finished me in round 2. I guess she wanted to get her face rearranged for 3 more years and leave on crutches. Instead, she had to go home and change and revamp her entire style to beat me. Take that as a compliment. She outsmarted me the second time. I give her that. We're 1-1. And this time I will not miss. Okay, so, yeah, that's what a fighter does, though. That's what a fighter's supposed to do. Excuse me. A fighter is supposed to change the style, to completely, be dominant the way Amanda wanted to, right? So I definitely have to say, yeah, that's part of the game. When you lose a rematch, you got to come back and change. Seeing guys get knocked out in boxing and, just come back and become the guy that outboxes the guy that knocked him out instead of going toe-to-toe, right? Like there's a particular fight, Terry Norris versus Simon Brown. Terry Norris went in more as a puncher in that fight, tried to punch with Simon Brown, gets knocked out, goes back in the rematch, changes his style, gets the victory, right? So, yeah, supposed to do that. But she has said I gave Amanda the immediate rematch within 6 months, and maybe she should have sat out like her. Well, to me, that's different, because Amanda Nunes, with her being the champion and having the reputation that she does and being the longtime champion, they are automatically rewarded the immediate rematch, in my opinion. I think that's how it works, right? A fighter that's been on top for so long, they get a chance to go right back in, right? So if Amanda loses, a rematch with Pena is all that's on her mind. She's going to be like, hey, I ain't going anywhere else. Hey, 6 months, I want my rematch, right? So it wasn't really necessary that Pena gave her the rematch. We knew that was going to happen anyway, right? Now, yeah, I know Amanda does be making, people wait for those title defenses, jumping back and forth with divisions. But I think in this situation here that Julianna Pena hasn't really done anything to warrant that rubber match like DC has said. Because my thoughts after seeing that performance, I was thinking that Julianna Pena has a lot of room for improvement in there. You know what I mean? I know she stands, at the top there, but she might want to go do some other things, and improve and take the time to improve, whether it's against another fighter or just training and try to develop herself, so she can do the same as Amanda Nunes and maybe switch up her style in a fight to try to one-side Amanda or finish her in a different manner this time, right? So I think she just needs to leave that open for herself. Like if she really wants to get the belt back, that she has to be prepared for what Amanda's doing this time and what a turned on Amanda can do, right? You have to take all that into consideration. Now, if Julianna Pena was to get this rematch, would I be mad? No. Rubber match? No, not at all, because I give Pena a lot of credit here. We go all the way back to the first fight that she had asked for, and she went on, jumped on the mic and said, "Hey, I deserve to fight for the man. I want a title shot." Even when she was like number 7 after beating Sarah McMahon, I was like, "Oh, I like this." She's using the mic skills. And that's what I'm saying. Like fighters need those mic skills because it's gonna get you what you want. And Julianna Pena let everybody knew what she wanted. So, I did a video and say I back her on that. I was like, I don't know about her chances of winning at the time, but I definitely feel like she deserves it because she's the only one talking and everybody else, they're either out or they already fought Amanda. So when it comes down to the, you look in the mid rankings, if Pena's calling for it, give it to her, right? So she did that. And if she could do it again in this situation with her post and just keep talking, and if she gets it, I'll be like, well, here we go again, like she's trying to get in Amanda's head and she's ready for it. So if she can do that, hey, I'm all for that. I respect her talk because, again, like I talked about in my other video with Grasso, which is probably going to be out before this one, it's about skills in the cage, of course, but it's also about letting everybody know what you want. See, when she gets to talking, the matchmaker is going to say, okay, she sounds ready, and if we make this fight now, it's going to be a big buildup because she's talking a lot of junk, and she sounds like she really wants it, right? And she's not asking for any other fights. She wants Amanda Nunes. So with this type of energy that's boiling, about to boil over, we got to give it to her, right? We got to give it to her because I think this spells explosion. You know what I mean? So there's that angle to it too. That's why I say, I got to respect the mic skills. If she gets it, yeah, hey, all respect. I'll watch it. Right. But DC had this to say. I mean, it wasn't like anything too harsh. I think he just said the work hasn't warranted an immediate rematch because if not, then every champion that loses gets an immediate rematch. It's not like that. It just doesn't work that way. Amanda got an immediate rematch because she's Amanda Nunes. Jose Aldo didn't get an immediate rematch, and he was the longest reigning featherweight of all time. Sometimes you got to move on to get back. I think Julianna's in that position. I don't know if the work that she's put on paper warrants it just because she survived in the last match. I think she might have lost every single round for that fight, which she did, So that doesn't necessarily mean you're not ever going to fight for the title. You just have to kind of go back, forget it for now, be humble and kind of grow, whether it is just one fight, right? Robert Whittaker, he did that. He went on, a 3-fight win streak before he got his title shot again. And people could have said that he deserved an immediate title shot after getting knocked out in the second round, right? He could have went back and got it, but he didn't, So it's just about taking the time to, kind of find yourself and grow again and develop, especially like the way that this fight was with her not winning a single round. It makes you say, well, Amanda's back. Right now, if the fight was really close, like a split decision for Amanda, then, oh, yeah, by all means, then, yeah, Julianna Pena and Amanda Nunes would be going in for that third chapter. But I don't think that he was saying that she doesn't ever deserve to fight for it. But she responded back and said, why you hating, player? You got an immediate rematch with Stipe after he finished you in the rematch. You have more title fights in the history of the UFC. Dang, let me live, all right? So, yeah, she kind of answered that right there. Like, yeah, he has more title fights. So, yeah, he's got a lot to stand on. So, if he wants a rubber match right away and, then maybe call it a day, if that was already his goal, then, yeah, he could get the rubber match, because win or lose, he's going to lead the game, right? So, yeah, he has those title fights, like she said, to stand on. And, yeah, I don't think it's a matter of him saying that, she doesn't deserve it. But in the meantime, get another fight with maybe like Irene Aldana or something like that, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Because I hear a lot of fans and casual fans and fans that don't really watch MMA, or even like the Julianna Pena fans, they look at the performance and say, oh man, like Amanda was putting in work. You know what I mean? So there's always, like I said, a chance for her to improve as a fighter, because I think she just needs to really improve on her footwork. That's where she kind of failed in this fight. Like, she has the upper body striking, but the footwork was just too predictable for Amanda. And with Amanda just coming in with that different style, it baffled her. It baffled her. She didn't know what to do with Amanda's footwork, the way she set her feet as well. So something she's gonna have to work on. But what about y'all? Yeah, what do y'all think? Like I said, if she can talk herself into it, hey, it's all good. It's money for her. It's another shot at the belt. I like Julianna Pena in that manner. But if I was to say, if I was her corner, I'd be like, hey, let's get this other fight first. Let's work on your footwork. Let's work on your striking and get you up to speed a little bit more on this movement. Fighting southpaws and so on. Right? That's where I stand with that. But what do y'all think? Immediate rubber match between these two. I tell you this though, it'll be more action than Nunes Shevchenko 3. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.